Hello, I'm Reema Chandra and welcome to Cooking Without Boundaries. Cooking without boundaries to me means breaking out of many boundaries, whether it's cuisine, culture, or simple ones like recipes, ingredients, and skills. Creating conversations, sharing and nurturing my passion, and hoping to inspire you is what Cooking Without Boundaries means to me. Hello and welcome to this episode of Cooking Without Boundaries. I'm Reema Chandra and I'm so happy to be with you again. Have you noticed some orange colors around you? Are you noticing something in front of me? Does that tell you what we are going to cook with today? You got that right. We are cooking with the squash today. Squash is I feel that there is only one time throughout the year that we value squash so much, but there are so many different kinds of squash and full of nutrition and health benefits that we could actually use it throughout the year. And we'll make three dishes. First one is butternut squash soup with grated cheese on top. The second one is caramelized squash on toast. And the third one is baked cod with squash. All of it is very easy, quick, healthy, and with a lot of taste. So let's get started with cooking with squash today. For butternut squash soup, we start with 2 teaspoons of garlic-infused olive oil. So for garlic-infused olive oil, what I have done is I crushed some 2 or 3 cloves of fresh garlic and I left it in a small little bowl with some olive oil in there for some time, so the olive oil has garlic flavor to it, and there was no cooking involved here, just mixing. So let's do 2 teaspoons of olive oil, half a cup of chopped shallots, and we add 1 tablespoon of chopped ginger. That will give you a little bit of warmth to the soup. Butternut squash has a natural sweetness to it, so this is going to balance the sweetness in there. We saute ginger and onion for about 3 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes, and then we add 1 cup of butternut squash, chunks of butternut squash, which is freshly cut. And just to make my life easier, I'm using 1 cup of butternut squash puree from can, which is so easy to get. And if you don't have fresh butternut squash, it's okay, you can use all of it from can. So while that is going on, we add half a teaspoon of salt, a pinch of black pepper. Flame should be medium to low. Already smells good, and even though I didn't cook olive oil in garlic, it has a garlicky flavor already, so without overpowering the soup. Onion looks light pink, so it's ready to take in the squash. We add 1 cup of chopped squash, fresh squash. Stir it. Saute the chunks for a couple of minutes. Now I'm going to add the squash puree, and this is 1 cup of that. There you go. stir it quickly because it can stick to the bottom of the soup pot. Let's cover it with a lid for about 2 minutes with flame being very low, and let it cook for 2 minutes before we add water to it. Let's check our squash here. We haven't added water yet, and it's caramelized at the bottom. So now we are going to add water, 2 cups of water. Let's do. So I'm thinking I want to add 2 cups, and let's do that. And then mix the whole thing together to see how it looks. If we need more water, we'll add more. If we don't, maybe we will wait until we blend it and see what kind of thickness it is, and if we like it or if we want it thinner, etc. So you can decide on amount of water beyond 2 cups as you go with soup making, as you go along, because not everything needs to be decided right up front. Okay, this looks good right now. So we're going to put lid back on it, let it simmer for about 15 minutes. Talking about squash, we can put them in 2 groups. One would be summer and the other one is winter. Summer is, I'm sure you have seen plenty of these during the summer months, zucchini and yellow squash. They're very popular at that time. There is one more which I don't remember the name right now, and I don't have it here. But these 2 are the most popular ones. In the winter time, however, we have many choices. And this is carnival squash, this is white acorn, this is acorn, then this is spaghetti squash, this is sweet dumpling. Sweet dumpling and carnival are very similar to each other. And then this is delicata, and this one is gold. So see, we have so many variety, and then we have the sugar squash. Which is also known as pumpkin. We call it pumpkin. This is the color when you think of squash and pumpkin. It's so sweet that use of this particular squash is abundant in dessert items, and so we have the pumpkin pie. There are so many health benefits in every bite of squash. Abundance of antioxidants, anti-inflammatory, potassium, beta carotene, fiber. So we have enough reasons to use them more frequently. So checking our butternut squash soup, looks very good, looks done, looks well cooked. And at this point, switch off the stove. We should taste the seasoning, but we can do that after blending. At this point, I'm going to blend it with a hand blender, make it smooth and silky and creamy, and then see if we want to make it thinner or keep it as thick as it is right now. So my soup looks thick. It rather looks like puree than soup. And this is, by the way, boiled. I boiled water in this kettle and then I poured it here to use. So it is hot water. So with so much of water going in here, we must adjust the seasoning, which is salt and pepper, after we mix it well. I'm going to transfer it to the serving bowl, then garnish it with cheese, and it's ready to be served. For caramelized squash on toast, we have 4 slices of butternut squash, and we are going to add 2 tablespoons of garlic paste, so abundance of garlic paste here, and we'll get our hands dirty and smearing it on the slices. We will add a pinch of paprika. We will add half a teaspoon of honey, we add half a teaspoon, or actually quarter teaspoon of salt, and then we go with our fingers, smear it on these slices. Coat it well, and then my pan is already hot, so we are going to add this garlic infused olive oil, and I don't mind putting some garlic bits there because it only adds to the flavor. And we have about 2 teaspoons of oil here, and we placed these slices in these pans. Here you go. Make sure the paste is on each of these slices because that's what is going to bring the taste. Let's use our brush. Good. So shake it, move it a little bit, and let it cook for say 2 minutes on this low flame and with covered pan, and then we will turn over the slices and let it cook on the other side as well. Looks good. And let it cook again. We've toasted the bread in the oven here and they look ready. Squash is done, and we are going to now put these slices on top of toast. So here is our butternut squash on toast. They look delicious, beautiful, and they make great appetizer dish or part of main course or part of tapas style of dinner. They're healthy, tasty, quick, and easy. So for baked cod with squash, we need fish fillet. I'm making 2 fish fillets today, so I have 2 fish fillets here. But we start with spreading some vegetables here. So we put some slices of squash, scatter some cherry tomatoes, and some sliced onions. Sprinkle some salt, pinch of pepper, drizzle a little bit of garlic olive oil, and this is pesto, pesto sauce that I have from before. I don't have to prepare everything at the time I'm cooking. Some things are prepared ahead of time, or some things I use store-bought, which is also okay. So I do that, and then I place the fish here on top. Then I smother it with more pesto. little bit of black pepper, salt, garlic, olive oil, and I will put some bits of crushed garlic that I have in here, and squeeze some lime over it and fold it. So now let's see, go like this, go like this. See how I'm holding it, and this means that I'm making some room here. I'm not exactly touching the fish, and close the end and close the end, and so one pocket is ready. So we'll prepare next second one. Again, go through the same laying of vegetables here. You can add more vegetables if you want. You can add more kind of squash if you want. I just decided to keep it easy and simple. Green peppers would also go very well here, add more colors. Sprinkle salt, some garlic infused oil, pinch of black pepper, a little bit of pesto, and then the fish goes on top. Then you smother the rest of pesto here. Sometimes I use coriander chutney instead of pesto, or mint, crushed mint. That also comes out very good. Again, a little bit of pepper, salt, garlic infused olive oil with some garlic bits in there, and squeeze of lime. Let's fold it. This is another way to fold. You do the end, you do this, and then take this over and close. We will place these pockets in the oven at about 400 Fahrenheit to bake for about 15 minutes. And at that point, we will check it with a fork, and if it goes through the foil, through the fish, that means fish is ready. And the vegetables would also be cooked by then, because it is creating steam inside. So we came out of our boundaries and turned this simple ingredient like squash into 3 different delicious, beautiful dishes. First one is butternut squash soup with grated cheese on top. The second one is caramelized squash on toast. And the third one is baked cod with squash. All of it was quick, easy, healthy, and tasty. I loved making them. I hope you do too. Any question, any concern, any suggestion, please write to me at reema@sharontv.com or call me at 617-504-5136. Freshness of all of these ingredients melting in your mouth is what I call cooking without boundaries. Happy cooking without boundaries. Until next time.